Hey,
All
Luis,
right.
welcome to Show Me Your Things.
Hi. Thank you for having me.
Nice teeth.
Yeah, I get a lot of good face.
So,
Yeah,
what
thanks
sort of
for having
thing
me, bud.
are you showing off today?
My thing that I'm showing off today, is let's get. That's not good. Here we go. Hey, it's this. The thing I own from my childhood still. This is my retro video game collection.
Oh, shit. Can you
Yes.
center that a bit
So these
more?
are. Yeah, yeah. This is. I probably should have tried to display some of these out here, but there are. I grew up on an NES.
Wait,
This is
Luis,
so.
you aren't old enough for an NES being like the thing that was like the thing while you were a kid.
No, this thing is a hand me down. I got this from a neighbor when he got a Super Nintendo, and I was like 4.
Wow.
Yeah, so that. Is there anything in here? No, good. This thing, it still works. It still plays games just fine. Uh, Within the last year, the AV component got a little busted, so
Uh,
there's not a whole lot of fixing shops in town to do that. Uh, yeah,
what's the last game you played on it?
the last game I played on this actually is I did a replay of The Legend of Zelda.
Hell
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, this is the original gold card. I actually didn't own this as a kid. I had to seek this out from GameStop, circa 2005.
Like the
Uh,
one of the many brief resurgences in retro games.
yeah, where they I guess they've had an on-off relationship with retro games. So this is one of the games I owned. But I do still have a lot of the games that I originally owned. Like I was obsessed with Popeye.
Popeye.
Yeah,
Tell me about
design.
Popeye.
Popeye was an arcade game. This is not a lot of people know this, but this was designed by the same guy that designed Super Mario. This is a Shigeru Miyamoto original.
Well, shit.
Yeah, so the same guy who did like Mario and Zelda and Donkey Kong, like he was into Popeye, and when Nintendo got the license for Popeye, he was like, "Yo, give me that. Let me do something with that." So,
Do you think
man, I
Mario was his attempt at upending Popeye in the game's canon?
I like to think so in my head. I like to think that Olive Oil and Peach are really just like anagrams of each other in
Hmm.
Japanese. Let's see, Top Gun, Hard as Hell. Uh, so if you notice some stickers on the side of this, it's because what my family would do is we would rent games from a video store in our town,
And I'm guessing you didn't
and
return them.
we just wouldn't return it. We would just pay the fee because we liked it enough. Which is why this version of Who Framed Roger Rabbit is all scuffed up, and like it feels like there's cheese here. No, that's just sticker gunk.
Ugh.
Uh, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Every person my age was obsessed with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Is that the one that's hard or the one that's impossible?
This is the one that's impossible, and I got pretty far in it a couple times. But also the music in this is pretty bitchin'. It's if you ever listen to any Konami Nintendo soundtrack,
Hell
it's got
yeah.
like this. It's got like this really crunchy like percussion line.
Can
Like
you do it
this,
with your mouth?
yeah. And then every like track in this game also had like if you remember like the theme song to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the chorus went Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, turtles in a half shell, and then every song in this game has some variation of that motif.
That's how you know it's done by a professional musician. Like when you have a theme and variations. That's like hallmark professional musician right there.
Oh, let me tell you. Oh boy, I could just go through every one of these games and like tell you a story about this. Like, Where's Waldo was me and my sister's favorite video game.
Oh my god. So that
This game
game
is
is
terrible.
just like they generate a random scene and Waldo's somewhere in there, right?
There, it's basically here's a giant JPEG, and look for Waldo in it. Uh, yeah, me and my sister love that. Those guys would eventually make Skyrim later.
Well, that's a bit of a pedigree.
Yeah, so naturally, that's the natural evolution point. Okay, I feel like I'm talking way too much about individual games. Metal Gear Solid again from the store the video rental store. Um, Ninja Gaiden. This unfortunately this doesn't work anymore.
Aw.
Yeah, but I still keep the box because this is a game my uncle gave me. Super Mario Brothers 3,
Hell yes.
aka the reason you rented the movie The Wizard.
Now, did you ever
Uh,
watch The Wizard as a kid?
I didn't. I found out about The Wizard later, and then oh, Super Mario Brothers 3. I'm all over that. You don't have to tell me about it. I'm wise to you, Nintendo. And this is by far. I bought this game because I was way into the movie instead of The Wizard. I was into RoboCop.
Man, so there's a lot of licensed games from the NES and SNES era that like ended up being pretty good, or at least pretty decent. Why do you think
Yeah.
like they don't do those anymore?
Phones. Basically, if it used to be cheap enough to make a video game that you could just put that into a marketing budget, right? Like you pay like 16 people over the course of 6 months to make a Rugrats game for you. But now, if you're like making a Rugrats game today, the expectations are different. You got to model each individual rug and
Oh
rat.
yeah, you gotta get all
Uh,
those hairs on Tommy's head.
you do, but
All
like
like
you're
three of
joking.
them.
You're joking, but like those are polygons, son, and somebody's gotta make them. Uh,
I
yeah.
mean, I for one don't have any polygons lying around my house to make little Rugrats with.
Boy, you and me both, brother. Also, this is the Zapper.
Oh shit! I don't think I've ever seen one of those in the flesh.
Yeah, this is my cousin let me borrow this and I never gave it back. But I played a whole lot of Duck Hunt with this. Also, can you get the audio on that? Let's get some audio on that.
Oh, I can hear
Let's
it.
mic this up. This.
There's a bit of a spring to it.
Oh, it feels good. It feels good to pull the trigger on this. Like there's like a lot of tension on the spring still. Oh boy. I basically went from a NES to a Sega Genesis, which is what I have right here.
Hmm.
This thing has a terrible sound chip in it. Like I don't know if you've ever seen a Sega Genesis that like kind of extends a little bit to the left, like a bigger one of these.
I've never seen a Genesis in person either.
Wow, how have you been in my house and never like looked at? We could be
We could
playing
be playing Sonic
Streets
right
of Rage
now.
right now.
We could be in your living
We
room
could
playing Sonic right now.
Yeah, I just realized that I have all my video games in a separate bag in my closet, so I'm getting those right now. Boy, there's some bad ones here. I think you'll notice a trend of like I was at an age that didn't like differentiate between good and bad games because I just didn't know what quality was.
Right. I mean, like when you're that age, you honestly like you'll play any game for a couple of hours because maybe it's got some incredible secrets. Maybe it's got like this amazing fight that you can't get to because you're not good enough. And it can't be that the game is bad. You're just the bad one.
Yeah, honestly, like I think this is something I miss about like being a kid is you you let your imagination do a lot of the work, and I think as a consumer of media I was like just quite forgiving about everything that came along. All right,
So,
I'm
question: what's the worst
mhm.
game you enjoyed? Was it Where's Waldo or something even worse?
The worst game I ever enjoyed was part of the Sega Genesis collection here. Flipping the camera around, and this is this guy right here,
Altered
Altered.
Beast.
Yeah, Altered Beast. Um, boy, oh, by the way, these cases for Sega Genesis games are truly incredible quality. They're really, really blocky, and they last forever. But Altered Beast um, is a terrible game where you turn into a wolf person, and then the next level you turn into a tiger and then a dragon. It's
Oh, it's got
truly a
five
terrible game.
levels. Level 1,
It's
level
got
2, level 3, level 4, level 5. Five entire
this,
levels of gameplay.
this game was bone dry with content. But me and my best friend growing up played the shit out of it because we were just both into video games and needed to see the ending. Um, boy, there's some gems in here. This game, I think, like I'm thinking about it now, and this game made me interested in anime. I think
Does it have like anime sequences or something? I know some of the Genesis games
it
did
does.
that.
It has anime ass cutscenes. I don't think I don't think you'll see. Do I still have the manual? No, I don't. Oh boy.
Well,
But
let's
Battle Street,
let's wrap this up in a
yeah.
little bit. Do you have any like last games to show off?
Oh, yeah, yeah. No, I don't. They're other than like every. This is the one everyone knows and
Oh, the
recognizes. This is my
N64.
original. Yeah, this is my original one. I don't have a whole lot of games, but I had a lot of love for like the Mario's and the Zeldas of the world,
Hmm.
and I don't have a lot of those left. Because I sold them to GameStop as soon as the GameCube was arriving, and I
Oh,
needed money for
piss.
those games. So, oh boy, if I still had a copy of Donkey Kong 64,
Oh man,
let me tell
I
you.
can get you my copy of Donkey Kong 64 if you promise to
Now
repay
we're
it,
talking.
Luis.
Dude, I will. Hold on. Let me let me turn the camera around to my face, please.
Like, you want Donkey Kong 64, Luis?
It,
I can get you Donkey Kong 64.
I vow to play on a stream a copy of Donkey Kong 64 if Osher so decides to give me that. I will go on the internet and suffer, and I'll like I don't know. I'll put all the money towards like coronavirus supplies, like donations.
Luis,
Like
thank you so
it,
much for being a friend.
Osher, thank you so much for letting me show off my things.
Do you have a
Uh,
category thing you want the next person to show off?
yeah, I want the category um, the coolest thing they own.
That's that's so perfect. That's so simple. I love it.
The coolest thing you own. Whoever the next person is, pick that.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Luis. It's been a pleasure.
Osher, it's great to see you again. Thank you so much for having me.